not, members, let's get to work. You know, it was just last year that we began with the assertion that better days were ahead. Today, I believe we find ourselves in a position to reflect on the past year's accomplishments and realize that there has been progress and that we have certainly laid the foundation for even better days. Just 12 months ago, the Senate found itself in a position to stand united and work with the House and the Governor to pass a balanced budget in a timely manner. And as we all know, that was no small feat given the $1.2 billion deficit that we faced. The work that was done last session to significantly address budget deficits involved making tough decisions, required certain sacrifices, and as we all know, tons of compromises. Despite budget woes, many other accomplishments were achieved in the past year, many of them which had an immediate impact. Some were revolutionary in the way they changed the status quo, while others laid the groundwork for future success and prosperity. Most notable includes, thanks to the good work of Senator Solomon, legislation to provide for the recognition of Native Hawaiian people. This law helps us to continue on what has been a very long journey to obtain federal recognition and begin the process towards true reconciliation between the Native Hawaiian people, the state of Hawaii, and the government of the United States of America. Also, with the leadership of Senator Baker, we were able to adopt Act 48, a mortgage foreclosure measure that ensures the right of the homeowner and a fair and due process when dealing with financial institutions. Additionally, with the leadership of Senator Takuda, in response to the people's vote, we implemented a new law to provide for an appointed Board of Education to shepherd our public school system. As one of the state's top priorities, the appointed board allows the governor to have greater accountability as well as control over the administration of our public schools. With the good work of our freshman legislator, Senator Dela Cruz, we were able to pass legislation that created the Public Lands Development Corporation to develop and generate additional revenues for our state. This legislation allows the PLDC to enter into public-private partnerships and utilize local, state, local, national, as well as international capital. As we all know, it is not the leadership of just one, it's not just a few, but rather 25 members of this body that defines our successes. And yes, I believe that we have already begun to see some of these successes and some of the positive effects of our challenging decisions. In the recent months, the Abercrombie administration was able to hold a robust bond sale that demonstrated a strong desire for investors to invest in Hawaii's future. This bond sale not only repaired our overall debt structure, thereby enabling Hawaii to afford additional construction projects, but along with a healthy carryover balance, the state will begin to look at a schedule to restore the hurricane relief and rainy day funds, a commitment that was made when it became necessary to tap those funds in a faltering economy. Instead of going our separate ways at the conclusion of last year's session, House and Senate members continued to work in preparation for this year. We also forged a stronger relationship with House leadership, and that effort has resulted in the reconvening of 8 conference committees beginning today. This is the first time in the last decade that an agreement like this has been reached. Through continued discussion, both House and Senate leaders also agree that investing in our state facilities while streamlining the process for repair and maintenance projects is not only necessary, but it is critical to boost our local economy. Our theme this year is Pupukahi e Holomua, Unite to Move Forward. Let this guide us as we begin this year's session. During the interim, the governor unveiled further focus to his New Day plan. These include 3 very ambitious objectives. 1, growing a sustainable economy. 2, investing in people and children. And 3, transforming government. This year, let us pledge our support to the administration and its commitment to these fine objectives. First, let us address job creation through emphasizing smaller repair and maintenance projects. Let's invest in our aging infrastructure to maximize the utilization and extend the useful life of state-owned assets. Next, we will work towards streamlining and simplifying the permitting and procurement process. We must enable both the public and private sectors to move forward and ensure that government is able to provide services to the public in the most efficient manner possible. We will look for these changes while protecting our natural resources and maintaining a fair and transparent process. Furthermore, we will continue to support and encourage the development of alternative energy sources to further implement the Hawaii Clean Energy Initiative. Let's aggressively implement green initiatives that make us a leader and an example for the entire world to follow. Transforming the way we operate through the use of technology will also be critical in reducing the long-term cost of government. Technology can create greater efficiencies, allow government to provide greater levels of services, and as we all know, for a lesser cost. We must be committed to support our new Chief Information Officer and invest in a system that better connects our residents and businesses with their government. We are also committed to supporting the Board of Education's initiatives to improve our public education system. Let us work in collaboration with all stakeholders, not only to ensure that we retain Race to the Top funds, but that we maximize its returns to provide the best education possible for our keiki. Let us also utilize the data and recommendations provided by the Justice Reinvestment Initiative Workgroup. These policies will reduce spending on corrections, reinvest savings in strategies that lower crime rates, and decrease prison population growth. Holding its last meeting just yesterday, the working group developed policies and initiatives that target cost-saving strategies and promote timely rehabilitation. Let us also work with the House of Representatives to carefully review the administration's proposed OHA settlement agreement. This agreement would represent a significant step forward in providing compensation for Native Hawaiians. This proposal will need to be vetted not only by the legislature, but throughout our island communities to ensure that it constitutes an appropriate settlement for the Hawaiian people as well as the state of Hawaii. We certainly look forward in the next coming weeks to a continued discussion and a final resolution on this matter. In support of these initiatives, I expect by the end of next week that this body will roll out a bipartisan initiative that will play a major role in defining this legislative session. This bill, Senate Bill number 2012, which will be referred to as the Invest in Hawaii Act of 2012, will aggressively address the long overdue backlog of repair and maintenance issues that plague our facilities throughout the state. With the leadership of Chair Ige, Vice Chair Kidani, and members of the Ways and Means Committee, we will work with state departments and agencies to identify a collection of projects that are shovel and permit ready. This bill will have two primary objectives. One, to aggressively cut in the state's multi-billion-dollar deferred repair and maintenance backlog, and two, it would immediately create jobs for our local residents. Projects would be seen in every single one of our 255 public schools, all 10 University of Hawaii campuses, all of our state hospitals, and would provide work for painters, roofers, electricians, masons, plumbers, and local engineers, just to name a few, in every corner of our state, and in return generate millions of dollars in disposable income for our economy. By doing these projects, we will provide our keiki with a safer and better learning environment. We will provide our kupuna with better medical facilities, as well as improved state facilities for both our local and visitors to enjoy. In addition to improving the physical structure of our facilities, this measure will directly address another one of our Senate's priorities: investing in sustainable and renewable energy products, photovoltaic, solar, wind, thermal, and hydroelectric energy. We will further implement our strategies to increase energy efficiency and reduce energy consumption. If, for example, we were able to provide all of our 255 public schools with photovoltaic systems, the state could realize a savings of over $500 million in the next 20 years alone. Not only will these efforts reduce in cost savings and reduce the drain on our state's general funds, but it will also reduce our carbon footprint. Finally, this bill will kickstart the state's investment in a technology system that makes government services easier to utilize, provides greater access to neighbor island residents and rural residents on Oahu, all while reducing the operating cost of government going forward. Through technology, there will come a day when people can get a marriage license without standing in line. Businesses can apply for permits without mailing in forms. Tax returns could be issued on the same day, and most government services can be accessed from home or work. So let us unite and move forward, Pupukahi e Holomua, with the Investment Act of 2012, with the Governor's New Day initiatives, and all of the Senate's priorities to create a better Hawaii for today and in the future. Mahalo, and let us begin.